Imagine walking through your field, the same soil you've tilled your entire life, expecting nothing more than rocks and roots. Now imagine striking the ground and unearthing a glittering piece of history, gold and silver, more than 1,000 years old. This is exactly what happened to one unsuspecting farmer in England. What he uncovered beneath his feet was not just a pile of dirt, but one of the greatest Viking treasures ever discovered, worth nearly $4 million. And the way it changed his life, his village, and the history books is a story you have to hear to believe. The story begins in the quiet English countryside. Rolling green fields, stone fences, and farmlands that had been plowed for generations. For most farmers, these fields were simply their livelihood, a place to grow crops and earn a living. But beneath the surface, hidden for centuries, lay a secret no one could have imagined. The man at the center of our story wasn't a treasure hunter. He wasn't an archaeologist. He was just an ordinary farmer, a man who thought he knew his land better than anyone. Until one day, he stumbled upon something that would turn his life upside down. This is the tale of the Hoxne Hoard, one of the largest and most valuable Viking treasures ever found. It was November 1992 in the village of Hoxne, Suffolk. The farmer, Peter Hoxne, had lost a hammer while working in his field. Frustrated but determined to find it, he called on a friend, Eric Laws, who owned a metal detector. Eric agreed to help, not to find treasure, not to strike gold, but simply to help his friend recover a small, ordinary tool. Yet fate had something far bigger in store. As Eric swept the detector across the soil, the machine began to beep. He expected perhaps a nail or some scrap metal buried underground. But when he dug down, he didn't find a hammer. Instead, he uncovered fragments of silver spoons, gold jewelry, and strange coins unlike anything he had ever seen before. At first, he thought it might be some junk, but as more and more pieces surfaced, it became clear this wasn't junk. This was a hidden treasure. The counting was finally complete. The hoard contained 14,865 gold, silver, and bronze, nearly 200 pieces of jewelry, dozens of silver tableware items, and personal belongings that used to head a wealthy Roman household. Experts estimated its total value at nearly $4 million. But this discovery wasn't just about money. It was about history. The treasure revealed how the Romans and Britain lived in their final years, clinging to wealth and culture even as their empire crumbled. It showed the artistry of their craftsmen, the reach of their economy, and the fear of invasions that forced them to bury their fortunes in the ground. For the villagers of Hoxne, this was more than a local curiosity. It put their tiny village on the global map of archaeology. Now here's the part of the story that truly stands out. Instead of keeping the treasure for themselves, Peter and Eric followed the law and reported it. Under Britain's Treasure Act, such finds are considered property of the crown, but finders are rewarded with the full market value. So when the British Museum acquired the Hoxne Hoard, both men were handsomely compensated. Eric Laws, the humble man with a metal detector, received a finder's reward of nearly 1.75 million pounds, more than $3 million at the time. He split it with his friend Peter, the farmer who lost his hammer. That hammer, by the way, it was eventually found during the excavation, and today, it sits proudly in the British Museum, displayed right next to the treasure it accidentally led to. A small, ordinary tool that unlocked one of the greatest treasures of the ancient world. Hoxne Hoard remains the largest cache of money, Roman silver and gold ever found in Britain. It continues to be studied by historians and admired by millions of museum visitors every year. But perhaps the most powerful part of the story is this. It wasn't found by professional archaeologists or treasure hunters with fancy equipment. It was found by a farmer and his friend, an everyday man with a simple metal detector. It proves that history and fortune can be hiding right beneath our feet, waiting for the right moment and the right person to bring it back into the light. The next time you step into your backyard or walk across a field, remember this story. Beneath the ground, just inches away, there could be coins, jewels, or artifacts that have been waiting for centuries to be rediscovered. What would you do if you stumbled on a fortune buried in the dirt? If stories like this fascinate you, then subscribe to this channel, because every week, we uncover more incredible, true tales of ordinary people who found treasures beyond their wildest dreams. And who knows, the next great discovery could belong to you.